We have the top 100 most used players in FC24. And today, I'm going to rank all of them. We have broken, rank 1, foot champs, debatable, in the pine. Important criteria. I am ranking these players based on fear of matchup. How much I dislike going up against them. The second Pele. I'm not that worried going up against him. Bon Madi. I most definitely respect her. I know what she's capable of achieving, but I'm not avoiding her at all costs. If anything, I'm actually more worried via her offense than even some of her defense. Even though she can chase everywhere, she's not a big body type. Fadi, he's got a certain sweat to him. The track record is real. Bacha, her 90 has done so much. How you envision, your perspective, thoughts. I don't know if I want to say concerned, but Bacha should be at least the weekend. Baggio, if I see you using him, I'm going to have questions. Does he have the skills? Is my opponent going to be able to put something together? He hasn't been destroying my hopes and dreams. Nightmares. Balotelli is sort of scary. Not just because I'm so nice with Balotelli, but anyone who uses him is also talented. They're gifted and talented. I'll still throw him into the debate. And if you're in a low division, maybe he's in the pine. Beckham does not scare me at all. He has not been crushing. That's a hot take maybe, but I go up against him a lot. I'm never worried, especially if he's out wide. I think he's best suited to be some sort of central role. Doesn't have that burner, that separation, that margin creation. It's not there. Jude Bellingham is consistent. I don't love trying to break him down. And for that reason, I'm going to give him foot champs. Most people that I go up against that have Jude Bellingham, I end up playing against some holding mid scenario where he never gets pulled out of position and it's frustrating. Kareem the Dream, problem. I do not enjoy that matchup because he's got the size. He can win the knockdowns. He can score via crosses. He's fast enough with the dribbling. If you play someone who's good with the step overs and the R1, just the technical side, he can finish everything. It's a bad matchup. This new bird camp is cool. A lot of people have him, so I almost end up being more in a debatable position because a lot of those folks don't know how to use bird camp properly to maximize what he's able to achieve on the virtual pitch. Georgie Best, but this 93 overall, I do not enjoy that affair. For whatever reason, this George Best as well seems super physical. I don't know if you feel like that, but I go up against him, I lose 50-50s all the time. And I'm not talking just fullbacks. Even versus my center backs, he splits the defense, he turns, he runs. It's not been good. Laurent Blanc, I think you should still be concerned if you see him in action. The 88, at this point of the game, you know he's going to get hella AI defending assistance, and that's how your opponent's going to play. 89, Bomb Pastor has been downgraded. I love her, but you can get in behind. You can cause some problems. Now we've got a lot of upgrades out wide. I would still say if you see the 93, that's not going to be an easy matchup, but also offensively, this Bomb Pastor can kind of push forward. Maybe they'll have some movement. Teus, I've got the 92. We didn't include the 91 because she's sort of getting out of rotations at this point. And then the team of the year, I don't see used that heavily, mainly around price point. If we're talking team of the years, if they're over a certain threshold, I typically see their loans more than the actual player. I'm going to give this Pateas foot champs. And if you want to talk about the other two, we can have that discussion. Bruno Fernandes, so many people have him. And again, I don't know that he's getting maximized, so he's not terrifying in the midfield for me. Cafu, the 92 you should definitely respect in a bunch of different squads. Now has a 94, and that might be a theme. Some of the upgradable players, there's not enough timeline. So if you don't see your favorite version of a player, it's not necessarily that this video was recorded well ahead of time and it's outdated. It's just that we don't have a lot of metric of how usable, how reoccurring, how just high end they actually are. Cannavaro, I'm happy that he got an upgrade. Definitely holds it down. I'd still take him for a weekend. Cantona is pretty scary to go up against. I don't think his ability is at the same level as some of the other attackers, but people that use Cantona, and again, maybe I have a bias that I'm part of that group, we know what we're doing. From the skills to the cancellations to the body type to the physicality. He's not for everyone, but people that are using him again in higher divisions, they're getting busy. They're causing problems. Roberto Carlos, absolutely rank 1. He could do it all. Not the biggest fullback or tallest fullback, kind of stocky, but that's not new information. This Casillas to me is broken. I made a video discussing the best goalkeepers. If you want to watch that, it'll be linked at all different budgets. And whatever it is about this 92 Casillas, he's got some extra juice. Petr Cech, absolute problem. I'm not saying that Casillas is better than Petr Cech. I'm more concerned going up against Casillas. Pena, fun SBC, good player. I'm not nervous. Koeman's got that burner, but he's not crushing my soul. He's not snatching it. Gonna put him into the debate. Courtois, I don't mind if you use him. Go for it. At best, he's gonna be for a knockdown. That's the meta. That's the only meta. And a lot of people aren't good enough at truly using that pro FC mindset where they're able to pinpoint and isolate matchups and then use those knockdowns to open up space. And generally speaking, if you're playing at a solid level, you don't need it. That's only for the best of the best in terms of having to unlock space and taking advantage or maximizing or abusing some game mechanics. Johan Cruyff, I am not enjoying that 1v1. He has been doing what he's supposed to be doing. Granted, he's high rated, he's expensive. That could be expected. Cuadrado will surprise you in a good way, in my opinion. I like using him. I don't really like going up against him. King Kenny catches me on some counterattacks, but there are strikers that just cause more problems. Davies is clear for rank 1. I'm tempted to even notch him up. It's not a good matchup. It hasn't been a good matchup for yours truly. Kevin De Bruyne, the team of the year. I am not nearly having the same issues as some of the other players. I don't know if it's about him being a little clunky. I'm not sure if it's because of him playing sort of a variety of positions in the midfield and not necessarily being the best at any of the defined roles. He's not a holding mid. He's not the best box to box, and he doesn't feel as fast. And that's why I'd even bring up De Jong. De Jong feels faster. And for that reason, I'm actually going to notch him up, because the way that you're able to burst into space and you open up lanes, you got to respect what he's capable of. Like, I'm not arguing that De Jong is a better goal scorer. I'm not arguing that he's got a better shot or even that he's a better passer, but the little burst of pace, it matters. Militao, definitely going to have to respect him. He's chasing back on everything via the AI, and it's annoying. There's no other way to talk about it. Diani, I'll take the matchup. Again, a lot of people don't know how to use Diani properly. Doku, super frustrating to go up against, at least for the weekend. Donnarumma has been crushing, maybe even arguing for broken. As for pricing with goalkeepers, I believe Donnarumma's your best bet if you're looking for a value pickup, as long as he doesn't impact your chemistry negatively. Didier Drogba, he comes after me. I can only talk from my own personal opinion. This guy is not fun. Dudek is solid, but I'm going to move him down to the debate. You got a better chance of a hit miss. Dybala does not strike fear. Cheap SBC. Again, good value. I don't think enough people are good enough with him. For instance, Michael Essien. You can run around with him in the midfield, and I'm pulling my hair out. I can't get by him. There's a level of frustration there. Eusebio, still to the top. I hate this matchup, and I see him all the time. Every single game, there's a good chance that Eusebio could make an appearance. João Felix. I'm a little bit mixed on this. It might sound sort of crazy, but remember, this is not necessarily about ability or reading off the stats and talking newspaper numbers. I make videos where we do a lot of placement based on just the ability of the player. This deals specifically with almost a fear index. How well do the masses use these players against you to ruin your weekend? Phil Foden, I'm not that worried. Even with the upgrade, so be it. A lot of people put him into action, not taking max advantage, but he's better. Clearly the best Phil Foden. Frimpong, oh, he is so fast. He might have some movement. I'm trying to reserve the broken category. I don't want to just start handing out everything for the free. Futra is also frustrating. If you're going up against a Futra, you're going to have to respect it. A winger, true of nature. Garrincha is getting downgraded. I go up against him. I know people like it from a value play. You're getting a high-rated guy. You're not spending an arm and a leg. There's a discount there, but he's just not as dangerous as he once was. Still has an incredible first touch, and his dribbling, he's a Brazilian, but it's just not the same. Steven Gerrard, by all means, use him in the midfield. I'll take my chances. Ginola, don't like that whatsoever. I can confidently say if you have the upgraded Ginola, that guy will also be broken. This Julie, put some respect on his name, at least for the weekend. Gundogan is a fantastic value play, and I would recommend him highly. But sometimes with these more affordable midfielders or just players, people don't take max advantage. And that's kind of how I feel with Gundogan currently. Grimaldo, the facilitation is right. Bayer Leverkusen, wow, wow, wow. I'm not sure that I'm willing to move him beyond this point. Ruud Gullit. Again, we have a new Ruud Gullit, but I believe all of them are problematic. You could pick a version. I don't enjoy any Ruud Gullit matchup. Technically, the 89 is not as good. We'd all agree. But any Ruud Gullit you see, for me, same level of fear. I don't like it. If you see Haaland's 94, that is not a good sign. Haaland is a player that changes games. And if somehow your opposition has the 97, which I will say this, seems to be a little more regular than some of the other Team of the Year players. Maybe players have saved up more and dedicated that budget fully to that Haaland. That being said, the 91 still has to come down to maybe a debate. Mia Hamm, brand new SBC. Not a good matchup. Never had one. I see Mia Hamm more and more. Her price dropped significantly on the market. You have the SBC, which is actually a little overpriced, all things considered. And I don't defend against her well. She punishes me every time. Hansen might still be rank 1. I know it's not her upgraded version. I've seen this item for months. The proof is in the pudding. She gets results. Kai Havertz. Players are catching up to him, but it's not been good. Defends better with the aerial, chases back well, larger body type, can pass, can facilitate. Kai Havertz's best position's been this fullback role. Thierry Henry, this 93 is ruining me. There's no other way to describe it. With that being said, the 91 does not make me anywhere near the same levels of nerves. Theo Hernandez, I'm putting in the pine for now. I never thought I'd do that. I just think we've had so many upgrades of players that are better and maybe a little more complete. Jarzinho, still dangerous enough, but not the instant one-man threat we had seen previously. Reece James, everyone has him. Some of those folks will make you remember the name, and then others, their defending's not quite as good. But either way, James is giving you consistency. There's continuity. Kaká, I don't like doing this, but the debates where he's going. Even Conte, and I see him used, but I understand the track back and the annoyance and the Energizer Bunny, the track record and proof of concept through many FIFA installments. But this year, I don't feel he's as relentless. And then offensively, I can lay off Conte. He's not scoring from outside the box. He's probably not scoring from inside the box. It helps me decipher my spacing and where I want to take a risk, a gamble. A Karkawi can get into rank 1. Quality item. Would recommend. Kimmich holds it down. Might also be in that rank 1 conversation. Miroslav, I'm not worried. I'm sorry. Vincent Kompany, one of the bigger budget players. And with that being said, broken for sure. Philip Lahm, I never thought I'd say it, but he's ended up being fantastic. This upgraded item is everywhere, and for good reason. We're going to give Laudrup a little bit of a downgrade. This is still impressive that he's getting into rotations. I just think there's more players that have surpassed him at this point. If you see this Lucio, similar situation to Vincent Kompany. Hopefully you're not getting them as some sort of pairing or partnership. Good luck. Vicente, I don't know that he gets rank 1. I see him used, but there's something still missing from him being some dominant 93. Good value pickup. Extra reasonable. Hugo Lloris, I don't have the issue. I don't have the problem. That's just how I feel. This new Majri would recommend. Makaleli, wow. That is an annoying player to go up against. Anyone that's using that Makaleli, he's everywhere. He's what you wanted from Conte. It's now this upgraded Makaleli. That's the final review. Maldini, the 93 might be the most common, but the 94, if somebody has it, is going to go broken, and I'm going to give the 93 broken as well. So they're both going broken. Maldini is a cheat code when it comes to defending. Marquisio, it's strange, but that's what it is. Mbappe, and you see him every game. There's always a version of Mbappe. Got to be broken. Even the 91, I would say, is clear for broken. I'm still using them. You're still not stopping them. McManaman, I like using this item. I'm just not sure that my oppositions are causing enough despair. The radioactive Messi, I'll give him foot champs. Team of the Year Messi, who might be expensive, but due to a large portion of the community packing him in the ultimate moment of gifting, accidental gifting. He's in a lot of teams and definitely broken. Modric, so much respect for him. I love using him, but I'm not as worried. And this is a perfect example on a back-to-back. If you see Musiala, my levels of concern higher than even a Modric, just because I know I have to defend that R1 dribble for the entirety of the game. He's not there to not be dribbling, conflicting, disrupting, causing issues in the midfield. Nesta, by all means, use him. It's just a defender that I do well against. He keeps getting upgrades and improvements, and they look better on paper, but I'm happy to go up against him. Ona, she's running the show out wide. And it seems as if everyone has her. If you have a solid budget to work with, or you've been building out some of your untradables, maybe this was your big spend, and Ona wins the wing pursuit. The chase back, the offense, the overlap. She's got the juice. Cole Palmer. This has been a problem matchup for yours truly. He's going rank 1. Petite, underrated player, but I might feel that way. If I'm going up against him, though, I still feel like I got the opportunity to cook. Same with Pires. It's a better item for him, but it's my opinion. Politano, plenty of respect. Cost you 30,000 coins, next to nothing. But if you see him in a weekend, I'm not thinking that I'm ruined. Puskas does good work against me. I wish that I did better work with him. For that reason, rank 1. Ramirez, high level of annoyance still, rank 1. He's everywhere. Never tired, never not moving. And he's another one of those players, if you don't know how to play defense, but you just grab Ramirez and run around, as long as he's on the chase back for you, it's not easy to get past Ramirez. Rashford, I don't know that I'd give him rank 1 at this point, but I still don't love it. Definitely don't love it. Franck Ribéry, at least rank 1. He's not the same threat as Georgie Best, and I believe that's the best comparison. A couple SBCs that were released around the same time. Rodman, I think we're getting too many options. I'll put her into the debate. She's got a good proof or track record in terms of upsetting folks, so we'll do that for now. Rodri is a monster. I just don't get past him. And I see him used as a center back. I see him used as a center mid or a holding mid. Another player that has a presence. Rodri makes me nervous. No other way to talk about it. It could date back to his 87 and the amount of time we saw that 87 in motion. I've played 455 games with this player. He has the most caps in my club, 267 goals, 230 assists. I'm not saying to use him today, but this is why the 90 also bothers me so much. He's an upgraded, undeniable talent from this 87. Rolfo! I don't like it. I'm seeing her all the time. Not good. Not good at all. I just know she's going to win the matchup on the pitch. Wherever she's playing, she's impacting. She's a difference maker. Rolfo is doing things. Rudiger, solid. Chase back is solid. It's not the holding mid. I'll give him the debate. Ronaldinho. Those animations are just so silky. I know I'm going to be in for something. I'll say that much. Even more so if you get someone who's really clean with the tricks and the flicks and all the intricacies. I don't know if Ronaldo's 91 is that nerve-wracking at this point. I almost want to put him in foot champs because I know people will isolate for the crosses and Ronaldo still wins those crosses. We've just gotten better players to work with. Wayne Rooney, I'm thinking debatable. He's all day good enough for the weekend. I'm just thinking of the opponents and how they use Wayne Rooney or lack thereof. Salah has to take it to at least rank 1. I would be willing to bet that his 94 would probably be on broken status. Saliba will get him to the weekend. It was an expensive SBC, but body type is good. Sawa, every dang team, myself included. I'm not better than that. Shevchenko will get on the back end of a through ball. Going to the debate. Bernardo Silva kind of lost his touch. Too many players, but he was an early addition item if you were looking for a cheap midfielder that could shimmy and shake. So Sophia, I do not like going up against you, Sophia. Rank 1 for sure. The second Smith will go foot champs. Snyder doesn't make me nervous, respectfully. And even the 93, I don't know if I'm really having a bunch of concerns. I go up against him a lot, and he doesn't command the game. He doesn't change the game. When I talk about the impact or the worry or the concern of a Ruud Gullit, Snyder doesn't have that. Son, I do not like that matchup. Him and Salah, these two, These two are running side by side. Stoichkov, kind of underrated, but I don't know if he's enough of a threat. Tchouaméni, definitely good enough for the weekend. Oh, I think I'm going to go rank 1. Anytime I go up against folks using Tchouaméni, he ends up just sitting on top of the back line and he never moves. And I can't get him out of positions. Tamori would do the same as Rudiger. Yaya Toure.
Toure! Oh!
I don't know if he's gotten his way all, or has he back into broken? I see the other Yaya more frequently, probably the 88. If anything, I'm going to move the 91 up, and then we'll keep the 88 in rank 1. Van der Sar. He probably deserves to be broken if I'm putting Casillas there. Virgil van Dijk, only one place. I'm happy to repeat, but I don't think you're seeing the team of the year. Best defender in the game. I just don't frequently see him based on attainability or lack thereof. I'm putting the 89. I don't like going up against the 89 either. I just don't want to go up against Virgil van Dijk. That's the reality of this game. Van Nistelrooy, don't have a problem with him. This Vieira still super frustrating. I'll give him the weekend. Offensively, he's getting a little slower, but defensively just sits there and looks at me. Never moves. Vinny, it's not a good matchup. This guy skirts past me the whole game. The 89 doesn't have the same levels of concern. We'll go debate. Timo Werner, the burner. I think most of you will agree. Rank 1. Xavi, dangerous. Did not expect it. Didn't see it coming. Dangerous. Yashin, what a center back. I'm going to go rank 1 for now. He might be on the cusp of broken. Zambrata, it's not been a good matchup for me lately. Rank 1. Zanetti, maybe I don't respect him. I don't know what it is, but Zanetti doesn't strike fear. The 91 Zico is going into the debate. It's got to be one of the upgrades that starts causing more problems. Xerxes might have been forced into this. My apologies. Zenedine, the 92 is cool, but he's not what he once was. But the 95 will go rank 1. Maybe he should deserve to be in broken. This is not technically ability, but just what I'm seeing, how I'm experiencing games. Zola is actually a man-child or an old man. He is doing his thing. Let me add in a bunch of the new players that are currently out just to give you an idea, because I know you're going to ask, and I want this to be as up-to-date as possible. Bang Bang, this new Bobby. He might be able to make a case for broken. I need a little more time, but I think from an attainability standpoint, too, he's not that expensive, and the output is extreme. Tremendous upside. Ashley Cole, just not been the year that makes me nervous. I don't care. I would recommend Marquez as a center back, but not shaking in my boots. Berbatov, wow, what value for a 93. If it were just talking ability, it'd be a different conversation in a different video. Goretzka, that's not fun. Now with skills or a weak foot, your choice, but it helped his dribbling. He's still super clunky, but people that use this Goretzka, God, he's never been one of my favorite players to use, but I can confidently say I don't like going up against him whatsoever. Xabi Alonso, not a nervy guy for me to go up against, just how I feel. And then the Cafu, if we want, let's take the 94 actually from rank 1. Let's go ahead and take him into broken. Cafu's built for greatness on the virtual pitch. Shall we review? So Zanetti, for some of you, you're going to struggle with having him here. Maybe the same with Snyder, but we need strong takes. We need some of those. I might give Teo actually a movement up to debatable, but that might be it. You know he's going to run back and forth with you. A lot of these players you can do plenty with, but if I see it loading into the squad screen, this is my matchup. I'm not sitting here quaking in my boots. I'm feeling comfortable. I'm feeling confident. Same could be said with a lot of, like, most of the debate could move into foot champs depending on your preference of player. Maybe an upgraded Zico is what we need. We mention and we create. So I'm going to keep this Zico in debatable. We're taking the 93 at least to rank 1. The double 5-star, one of those icons that for sure makes a difference. A lot of these guys just aren't moving the needle enough. For foot champs, Messi might be getting outdated a little bit. You could talk to me about Reece James, but the more that I stare at this Pateas, I feel like she needs to be in there, even if it's not a daily basis. Prices are adjusting, therefore more of these players will get attainable. For rank 1, Ribery, Sawa, they're in so many squads. This front 4, even Bonmati, really strong. Bonmati's everywhere. Since we got the bumped up Cafu, I'm going to take the 92 down to foot champs. Goalkeepers going to act like goalkeepers. I'm still going to keep Davies here. Kai Havertz is keeping a position. I mean, a lot of these players are just meta. They're attainable. They're meta. You see them in action. They're frequent. Some of y'all might put the burner in broken. I'm sure you hate going up against them. Puskas, Makaleli. I've witnessed some things with Cole Palmer. Zinedine Zidane. He's just not the same threat as some of this grouping here. So let me add in a few players late here. Late stage players. And you might see the gold Virgil, and I don't care. He's been too broken this year. I don't want to discredit or take anything away from Virgil van Dijk. I added Vieira. He's going to cost you a ton, but if you see him, you're not beating him. I'm sorry. I got R9. This is the reality with R9. People would rather spend their coins elsewhere to get a player that's similar. He has not been in nearly as many rotations. I don't see him as regular, and it's because of the likes of this Eusebio. It's the Mbappes that you can get off SBCs. It just pushed them out. Rio Ferdinand, if you've got a big boy budget, definitely broken. Lothar, not saying he's not at that level, but if anything, I was debating bringing down one of the Ruud Hullets, but it's not even the stats. He's just out there, and you feel it. You notice it. Pateas, there's no way to credit. I wasn't going to add them in, but I've done it. I just added them late. Game time decision. Same with Jude. Let me see if I want to move anyone around. We could talk about the new Henry. I don't know if we have enough metric. We could talk about some of the other versions of Company or Lucio. We've also got a comment section. I'm going to keep this gap here. If anything, it's a matter of, do I want to move anyone down? I'm just putting this much respect on Virgil van Dijk's name. We'll leave off there. Let me know your thoughts. We ended up adding some different players in. I was trying to focus on the players that I see in the majority of rotations. The game is ever changing. It's dynamic. And some of it's about also having measurables. I don't like to just take stats and play styles and say, this guy is going to be the best because of these stats. Because it doesn't always work like that. If you've played a lot of FC, it's not always one-to-one. That's just a reality. I look forward to your thoughts. At the end of the day, it's going to be super biased. Players that we strongly dislike going up against being such an impact as to the final placement. And as always, I have a lot more content coming out ASAP.